So, welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. The idea is that you need to revise your current affairs on a daily basis because current affairs form a very important portion for your prelims examination. Around 40 to 50% of the MCQs asked in the prelims paper are directly or indirectly related to current affairs. Therefore, you need regular revision as far as current affairs are concerned. And what better way to revise current affairs than by getting the much needed MCQ practice? So, through this lecture series, your two objectives are getting solved. You are getting the current affairs revision on a daily basis, and you're getting those current affairs revision by MCQ practice. Now, 4 to 5 MCQs might seem like little effort right now, but these 4 to 5 MCQs would add up to more than 1200 MCQs by the time you're ready for your prelims examination. And 1200 MCQs from the topic of current affairs is more than sufficient. Okay, because you'll be practicing other MCQs from other static subjects. So 1200 MCQs from current affairs alone would definitely solidify your current affairs preparation. So, needless to say this, but make this lecture series a part of your daily routine. It should be a daily habit of yours. All right, let's begin today's discussion, starting with question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding Ramsar Convention. It is an international agreement signed in Iran on World Wetlands Day for preservation of wetlands around the world. India has a total of 89 Ramsar sites or wetlands of international importance. Benefit of being declared as Ramsar site is access to international management practices and funding. Now you see, wetlands are those places which are partially or which are submerged underwater. Okay, either they are shallow water bodies like lakes, or they are wet areas, wet soil areas. Okay, mostly these are lakes. Now, wetlands are very important for our environment. In fact, they provide a lot of ecosystem services. Wetlands capture carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, thus fighting against climate change. Wetlands are also known as kidneys of the environment because they provide the much valued service of purifying water and removing all the toxins in water. That is why wetlands are called kidneys of the environment. Any which way, wetlands actually provide a lot of ecosystem services. They support biodiversity, richness, and whatnot. Now, to preserve wetlands all over the world, well, in 1970s, there is a place in Iran called Ramsar. An international agreement was signed in this place called International Agreement to Protect Wetlands. Now, because it was signed in Ramsar, Iran, it is known as Ramsar Convention. Okay, so globally, some wetlands would be identified as wetlands of international importance, and those identified wetlands would be called Ramsar sites. Okay, now special care would be taken to preserve these wetlands, which are declared Ramsar sites. All right, so it's an international agreement signed in Iran on World Wetlands Day. So basically, it was signed on 4th Feb 1971. Okay, that is why 2nd Feb every year is celebrated as World Wetlands Day. So this is correct. Now, recently, India had 85 Ramsar sites or 85 wetlands of international importance, but recently government added 4 new Ramsar sites. So the total is 89. Now, what is the advantage of for a wetland to be declared as a Ramsar site? Well, it gets access to international management practices and some funding for preservation. So this is also correct. All three are correct. Question 2. Which of the following statements are correct regarding Koleru Lake? It is the largest freshwater lake of India located in Andhra Pradesh. Koleru Lake lies in Krishna Godavari basin and is fed by Budameru and Tamilameru rivers. Amur falcon is an indicator species for this wetland. It was declared a Ramsar site in 2002 and is famous for Koleru Bird Sanctuary. Now look, Koleru Lake is a famous wetland. Okay, it is also a very big freshwater lake of India. It is found in Andhra Pradesh. This part is correct. but it's not the largest freshwater lake of India. Okay, the largest freshwater lake of India is Wooler Lake in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, it is one of the largest. Koleru is one of the largest, but not the largest. So this part is false. Now, Koleru Lake lies in Krishna Godavari basin. It's actually sandwiched between the deltas formed by Krishna and Godavari river. And the reason why it is a freshwater lake is because it is fed by freshwaters from Budameru and Tamilmeru rivers. This is correct. Second statement. Now, this Koleru Lake is famous for a particular type of bird called grey pelican. And grey pelican is the indicator species for this wetland. Now, what do we mean by indicator species? Well, if the ecosystem health or if the environmental health of this wetland is deteriorating, you will see a drop in the numbers of grey pelican. Okay, so if you want to judge how's the health of this wetland is, then you can look at the numbers of grey pelican. So just by looking at the numbers of grey pelican, you can get an idea about the ecosystem or environmental health of Koleru Lake. That is why grey pelican is an indicator species. It indicates the health of this wetland, not a moor falcon. Okay. Now it was declared a Ramsar site in 2002 and is famous for Koleru Bird Sanctuary. Absolutely correct. The correct answer is B. Question 3. Which of the following statements are correct regarding National Green Tribunal? It is a constitutional body established in 2010 for effective disposal of environmental cases. Proceedings in NGT are bound by Code of Civil Procedure 1908. Chairperson of NGT should be a retired Supreme Court judge and the other judicial members are retired High Court judges. Now look, the first statement would have been entirely correct if instead of constitutional, it would have been written statutory. Look, constitutional bodies are those bodies which are established by our constitution, like Election Commission of India, Attorney General of India, okay, Human Rights Commission and whatnot. Statutory bodies are those bodies which are established by a law of Parliament. Now, Parliament enacted National Green Tribunal Act in 2010 and under this law, NGT was formed. So, it's not a constitutional body, it's a statutory body. Okay. Now, there are proper rules and regulations with respect to how a case shall be presented, how cases shall be fought, okay, how procedure would be followed in Supreme Courts, High Courts, and local courts. Okay, these rules are called Code of Civil Procedure, mainly how civil cases shall be presented in these courts. Okay. Now, generally, Code of Civil Procedure, these rules are followed in almost all the courts, but NGT is not bound by this Code of Civil Procedure. NGT will have its own set of rules how cases shall be presented. Okay, so this is also false. It is not bound by Code of Civil Procedure. Now, the thing is that NGT has a chairperson, then it has some judicial members. Okay. And then it has some non-judicial members, or we call them expert members. These are those persons who have at least 15 years of experience in the field of environment. Okay. Now the chairperson should be a retired Supreme Court judge and judicial members should be retired High Court judges. Non-judicial members should have 15 years of experience in the field of environment. Okay. So this part is correct. Only 3C. Question 4. Consider the following statements regarding opioids. These are a class of drugs that are manufactured from opium poppy plant. Morphine, oxycodone, fentanyl are some examples of opioid painkiller medications. It is a highly addictive substance and is the cause behind many drug overdose related deaths. Now, look, opioid is a form of synthetic drug. It's not a natural drug. It is a synthetic drug that mimics the chemistry of opium plant, poppy plant. Okay, so opioids are not produced from opium or poppy plants. They mimic the chemistry of opium. Okay, so these are synthetic drugs. Okay, now these are a class of drugs which are administered as painkillers. Okay, these are painkillers. But the problem with these painkillers, or we shall say opioid painkillers, is that they're highly addictive. So once you're discharged from the hospital because you got addicted to these painkillers, you seek out drugs and you become a drug addict. You were not a drug addict before, but then you were hospitalized, you were given these medicines as painkillers, and now you are hooked to them. Okay. So first statement is false because they are not manufactured from opium poppy plant. They just mimic the chemistry of opium poppy plant. Okay. They are synthetic drugs. Now, some of the examples of opioid painkillers are morphine, oxycodone, and fentanyl. Absolutely correct. It is a highly addictive substance and is a cause behind many drug overdose related deaths. Absolutely correct. The correct answer is B. And last, but certainly not the least, consider the following statements regarding Very Short Range Air Defense System, VSHORADS. It is a lightweight, shoulder fired missile designed to target low altitude aerial threats, designed and developed by DRDO's Research Center Imarat in Hyderabad. So VSHORADs are those missiles that are used to target aircraft, fighter jets, enemy fighter jets, and enemy drones. But the best part about these missiles is that they are portable. Okay, that means they can carried on a soldier's shoulder and they can also be fired from a soldier's shoulder. They're just 20 kg heavy. Okay, their weight is just 20 kg. So recently DRDO conducted successful tests of these VSHORADs. Okay, globally these types of lightweight missiles that can be fired from a shoulder are known as man pads. Man portable air defense. Man portable air defense. Okay, so they can be carried and they can give you air defense because they can target incoming enemy fighter jets or drones. You can just fire them from your shoulder and take them anywhere. Clear? Now, India did not have these man pads before. Okay, but Russia helped us and Russia provided us with IGLA man pads. The problem is these man pads, IGLA man pads, Russian IGLA man pads are ancient. They are very old. Okay, and that is why we wanted to replace it. But we decided not to import high-tech man pads, but to produce high-tech man pads ourselves. And that is why we produced VSHORADs. DRDO conducted successful tests of VSHORADs at DRDO's Research Center Imarat in Hyderabad. So both these statements are correct. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'm sure it has added value to your preparation. But if you wanted to add more value, you need to revise this lecture as well. Okay, and the revision can be done from the notes provided by us. Now, these notes are shared on our Telegram channel, and the link to our Telegram channel is provided in the comment section below this video. You just have to click on that link. It will take you to our Telegram channel, and from there you can download the notes for this lecture. On that note, I'll sign off. Thank you so much, everyone.